So time series, let us understand what is time series. Coming to the meaning, in statistics, time series is a sequence of data points measured typically at successive time instincts and spaced at a uniform time interval. So time series, according as per the name says, according to the time you are going to space the information given to you. Now yesterday we were learning about the examples of internal marks of a student, where the marks of the student is according to the time we give them a test, and we judge how much they have understood from whatever they have learned until now. So it is successive time instincts. So as in, it's not that we go back, okay, but we are trying to understand on today's date how much we know about the concept. Okay, but this time series doesn't talk only about the marks, it also talks about lot of things which is being used in the business, maybe production data, sales data, what are the raw materials that is required. Let's say there is a company called ABC Limited, and that company wants raw materials today. So it will check the previous data of how much raw materials was available and how much was used. So based on all that, it will be able to understand what is the consumption pattern of the company, how much raw materials they take every month or every week. Another simple example is the the ration that you people, that any house gets. So there is one measurement, usually the mothers would know that there is a measurement that mother will have of the eating pattern of the family. So they know how much kg of rice or dal or oil or milk and curd and all that will be consumed in from for one whole family, and according to that the ration will be bought by the family. So they will spend according to the needs there, and according to the time also. Mainly why time? Because if it is festival time, they usually purchase more of the items, because during festivals we have lot of traditions to be followed, and there is lot and different types of food that will be prepared. Okay, and the people enjoy those delicious food. So at those times there are more items which are required. So time also matters whenever we take anything for that matter. Okay, so that is time series. Then in simple words, now this is again being repeated in a very simple way. A time series is an agreement of data in accordance with its time of occurrence chronologically. Here, chronologically is very important. It has to go on in a certain manner. You cannot just do the day, work in a haphazard manner. Now if you take your timetable, you have from 9 o'clock if you have class, then from 9 to 9:40 is one class, 9:40 to 10 o'clock is the 10 o'clock to 10:40 is other class. And then let's say you have more number of classes today, 11 to 11:40, then 12 to 12:40. Now chronologically means it has to start from 9 o'clock only. Okay, first I cannot take 12 o'clock class and then I cannot say I'll take the class at 9 o'clock. Okay, the time of occurrence has to happen chronologically. So that is the meaning of time series. Now coming to few definitions of time series. The first definition is given by Croxton and Cowden. Okay, so they are saying time series consist of data arranged chronologically. So again here chronologically is important. Now any data that they give you, if you arrange them either from 1 to 100 or 100 to 1, there is a chronology there. Chronology is usually from 1 to 100. Now if you take your attendance, you will usually have A to Z, right? So names starting with A will come first, and then it continues with B, C, D, and so on. So that is chronological data. Now even if I give you any number of, let's say I give you all the names that is there in the college, all the students name in the college. Now I will ask you to arrange them chronologically, and I will say you chronologically has to be according to their names. Now you will be arranging the data completely in uh, A to Z format. Clear? Now if I say give the same data along with date of birth and I ask you to do it chronologically, then you have to first arrange the date of birth for the particular person from small to big. Whoever were born later can come first, or whoever were born first can come first. That criteria has to be defined for you to arrange them chronologically. So that is first definition. Now coming to next definition, when quantitative data are arranged in the order of their occurrence, the resulting statistical series is called time series. Now here the important word is quantitative data. You cannot arrange a qualitative data. You cannot arrange someone being very nice to very harsh, or someone being black to white, okay, those colors. Or if a person is using, let's say a child is doing a painting, now I cannot chronologically say you will have to first use this color only. It is the child will not even realize, it just takes whichever color it wants. So qualitative data is little difficult. Okay, so but quantitative data, anything with numbers like sales, or let's say the number of trains, the number of buses in the city, and the production data. A company ABC has produced 10,000 masks in a day, so 10,000 is quantitative data. So this quantitative data can be arranged in the order of their occurrence. So that is why I will give a batch number for the mask. I will say this is batch number 1, batch number 2, batch number 3, and so on, and I will arrange them in that particular order. And when I arrange them in the particular order, I get a statistical series which is called as time series. And this definition is given by Vaisel and Vellet. Understood with the first slide? Any doubts in the first slide here? Please reply in the chat box. Okay. So let us continue. Mathematically, a time series is defined by the values y1, y2, y3 of a variable y at the times t1, t2, t3. Let us understand it by some example. Now let's say there is a company ABC Limited, and they manufacture masks. Okay, N95 masks they are manufacturing. Now the time series is defined by values. Time series is defined by values y1, y2, y3 of the variable at y at times t1, t2, t3. Now let's say t1, t2, t3 are months. So in the month of March, that is t1, what is the production we have done? Let's say in the month of March we have done 20,000 masks for the whole month. Then again in the month of April, this is T2. Now what is the production we have done? We have done 40,000. April, then May, let's say this is T3, and production, let's say, is 60,000. Okay, so on, we can just go on writing the data of the y as well as the t. Okay, so this relationship between variable y and its occurrence is expressed as y is equal to function of t. Okay, the production is equal to function of t. As and when the time changes, the production of the mask has been increasing currently. Now this can happen in the other way also. Now in March, let's say if I have manufactured or produced 20,000 masks, in the next month, April, I could have done 10,000. In May, I could have done 5,000. It can be in the decreasing format also. Okay, but we will start with one point and then from there we go on further with the time. Okay, and this completely is denoted, or this function is taken from this series, that is nothing but, and this column represents t and this column represents y. Now t1, let us say, is March, April, May, June and July, and so on. It can go till December next year and all. So here, if my manufacturing is, let's say, 20,000, 40,000, 60,000, 80,000 and 90,000 and so on. It can increase, it can decrease, anything might happen. Now this series is just saying me the same function, that is y, the variable y is equal to function of t. As in when the time changes, the production factors also change, and thereby you will get varied data for the production. Okay, and then in the above bivariate series, bi is nothing but 2. Variate is variable. So what variables we have? We have t and we have y. So two variable series. In this two variable series, t represents time, which is independent, and y represents value of the variable, which is dependent. So what are they trying to say? T, that is time, is a independent variable. Do you think time depends on anything? Will time depend on anything? Will the time wait? Okay, some person is coming, let me wait until the person come and then I will move. The clock never stops. The time keeps moving. Okay, with that moving time, we have to adjust the other variables whichever is required. Let's say the variable here is production. Okay, let's say the variable here is production. Now production of mask, we have to adjust along with time. Time will not get adjusted with the production of mask. Okay, the time will not say, okay, this month there is less production of mask, let me wait until they complete the production and then I will move. That will not happen. We have to increase the capacity of the machines. We have to recruit more people and make sure within less time we produce enough mask so that people can use, or the demand of the mask can be met. Okay, so in this bivariate, that is two variable series, two variable is nothing but t, which is time, and it is an independent variable. It is not dependent on anybody and it will work on its own. And y is a value of variable which is dependent. Now y may be sales. Okay, y may be sales. Now during festival time, again you see time, during festival time, because of offers, the sales increased. Time is independent. Every year festival will come. Every year that month of August, September will come, but 1 year you can have more sales, 1 year you can have average sales, 1 year you can have less sales. Okay, but this time, let's say in festival, because of offers, there was more sale. Now this festival time is independent, it comes all the time, it doesn't depend on anything, but this sales is depending on the festival offers, so that is why it is increasing. Understood? Are you all able to understand? So why is that sale factor, which is dependent on lot of things? Here, because of festival offers, sales is increasing. Okay, so this is how you understand between independent variable and dependent variable. In a company, there will be lot of independent variables and dependent variables, and we have to analyze which are independent and dependent, and then we have to make sure to adjust to its form. So this is how the time series is represented, and with the function saying y is equal to function of t. So y is an dependent variable. So this dependent variable is dependent on the time, which is independent variable. Understood? Any doubts still here? I want everybody to reply in the chat box quickly. Understood the first two slides? Okay, now moving on further, time series analysis. Now we understood what is time series, which is the data which is arranged chronologically is called as time series. Okay, according to the time sequence, they arrange the data. So that will be your time series. Now let us see how do we analyze this time series data. Now analyzing of time series data, it comprises the methods, okay, comprises the methods for analyzing the data in order to extract meaningful statistics and other characteristics of the data. Now in the same example which we took, according to the months, we had production of mask. Okay, now with this data, March 20,000, April 40,000, May 60,000. Okay, with this data, I will have to understand. It is giving me some meaningful statistics. What is that meaningful statistics? It is saying there is more demand for the mask in these particular months. It was starting of pandemic in India especially. Okay, so here we were very scared to go even step out, and we were getting used to the mask, whoever people were going out. So time series analysis is nothing but whatever data is given to that, we are supposed to analyze them and extract meaningful statistics. Some meaning will be there for the given data. So we are supposed to analyze and understand the meaning of the data and the characteristics of the data. Is it in the increasing form, decreasing form? What is it trying to say? If my sales are decreasing, what is the reason for the reduction in sale? All that I have to slowly understand by seeing the time series data. We will not only get one data, but we might get more than one column. Okay, so that will be your time series analysis. At the end of the day, what are you trying to do? You are trying to analyze the data given to you to extract the meaningful statistics from the data given. Okay, so that is time series analysis. Next, time series forecasting. So first we have analyzed the data, whatever data was given to us, we have analyzed. Now let us forecast. Forecast is we are gonna assume something for the future, or we are gonna predict for the future. So time series forecasting is the use of model to predict future values of a variable based on previously observed values. Now with the same example, if I take, in April I had 20,000, 40,000 and 60,000 masks sold. Now I will say after May, I will say June, let's say you will have 70,000 masks as the demand. Okay, I am predicting the demand of the mask for the future month. And again I will say July, let me I think it will come down to 60,000 again. I am predicting it might increase, it might decrease. Okay, I am predicting the values here for the future based on, okay, this is important, based on previously observed data. I have 3 months data with me for this year. So based on that, I am going to predict for next 1 or 2 months. You cannot, based on 3 months data, you cannot predict for next whole year. Okay, that will not be a realistic data. So to be realistic, you can predict for 1 or maximum 2 months. That is time series forecasting. Okay, this is just by seeing the data. But when it comes to problems of time series, we are going to use certain formulas, we are going to use certain rules there to predict the data for more number of time. Not only 2 months, we can predict the data for one whole year, because we are using some rules and formulas which is given according to time series. So when a company is saying that they are going to produce, let's say they are going to produce 1 lakh product for 1 year, it is using the time series data. It is using the time series data and formulas that they will do the forecasting. Okay, so in this slide, what did we learn? We learned time series analysis, which is nothing but you analyze the data given to you, and which gives you a meaningful statistics, and which will help you to understand what the complete data is trying to say, or what the complete data speaks. Now coming to time series forecasting, it will help you to predict the future values using certain formulas and the rules. But basis, what is the basis of me predicting the future? The previous data whatever I have. Okay, the previous data whatever I have, based on that I will be predicting the future. Any doubts in this slide? Okay, can we go for the next slide? So let us learn uses of time series. Now in uses of time series, we are supposed to understand that it will help us understand the past behavior of the variable. Now, as we saw the mask manufacturing, before the masks were used in the hospitals. Okay, the masks were used in the hospitals. So that was the major usage. Apart from that, they were used in few industries. Okay, they were used in few industries. So these are few uses. Apart from that, you can say people were using mask very rarely, because they want to protect themselves from pollution that was happening, or if it was too much of traffic and that pollution, they were trying masks. but the major usage was happening with hospitals and few industries. Okay, so here now if you see, you can see every individual wearing mask. Okay, every individual wearing mask because of the pandemic situation. So here time series is trying to help us to understand that the market for the mask was only with hospitals and industries before, but now if you see, there is also implication, or there's also application of it in the day to day life. So time series will help you in determining the type and nature of the changes. Now what are the changes that is happening today, and how much is the demand for the product today, that it will help you to understand from the data. So that is your first use. By seeing the previous or the past data or past behavior, it will be able to help you understand how the person is. Another simple example, by let's say by seeing your previous semester marks, we will be able to analyze if a student will be able to understand complicated subjects, or will the student take more time to understand, or is the class, as a class, are the students very bright or they are average. All that we will be able to understand, because when we understand the nature of the class or the type of students, we will be able to help them better whenever required. Okay, so that is the first use of time series. Now coming to the second use of second point, time series analysis facilitates comparison between two or more variables over a period of time. So comparison is one thing which you will have to understand. Now let's take an example of balance sheet. Okay, balance sheet is the best example for the comparison. Now previous year, okay, previous year 2019, the profit was, let's say, 5 crore, and this year 2020 the profit is 50,000. This year is almost like a zero year. Because of pandemic, there was no production, there was no sale. Only in first 2 months, 2 3 months, until March, first half of March, let's say 15 days of March, I was able to make a profit of 30,000. And after that, I had to close down my company, because employee safety was important. Now if I compare this data, I need the time series help here to compare the data. The data which will be in the time series format will be given, and it will help me, or easily help me to understand why this difference. Apart from pandemic, what are the other factors that has affected my profit for the year? Okay, but suppose you take 2018, let's say 2018, my profit was 4.5 crore. Okay, there is 0.5 crore increase. Now again, with these two data of 2018 and 19, I will again sit and analyze or compare how much profit I have got, and what are the reasons for me to get more profit or less profit. So that is another usage of time series. Now the next point, time series are very much useful in predicting probable future activities based on past performance. Now during this pandemic, it's little difficult because things are not very much settled, but they are trying to do it. So using time series, I'm also trying to predict the probable future. Now let's say for the from January 2020 till September 2020, my profit was only 50,000. Now I am predicting that from September 2020 to December 2020, I'm going to make another 20,000 profit. I'm being very, very realistic. Okay, I cannot say I will do 1 lakh or 2 crore, 3 crore profit, because the situation is not very favorable. So I am predicting the future now based on the months data that I have, I'm predicting my future present that from September till December, I'm going to get 20,000 profit. Now, with the help of what did I predict that I'll be getting 20,000 profit? With the help of past performance that was available in the form of time series. Okay, so that is another point. Next, time series help in controlling current accomplishment by comparing actual performance with the forecasted performance. For this, the best example is budget. Okay, every year the government comes out with a budget in the month of February. Okay, now railway budget before railway budget and the union budget was different. They were saying they were giving the budget separately, but from 2017 onwards, okay, railway budget and union budget became part of one budget only. Okay, now they're gonna say the budget together for railway as well as union budget. Okay, now here in the budget, let's say this year there is GDP percentage which is forecasted. Okay, we were supposed to reach somewhere around 4.5% or something. Okay, this was some approximate, somewhere above and below, some approximate was there. Okay, so this was forecasted before pandemic. Okay, this was forecasted, which means I am predicting this year we are going to have this GDP, but currently we are in the minus. We are in the minus state of the GDP because no industries are able to open on a full-fledged manner, and they are not able to do the production 100%. Okay, so here forecasted was different, but the actual is different. Another best example, you people think a lot, okay, this semester I'm gonna clear all the papers with great marks. That will be only the forecasted performance. But when you're studying for exams, you wouldn't have studied at all, or you would study in the last minute, which will not help you to understand everything in the last minute, where your actual performance will come down to a great extent. So time series is actually saying you to start studying from the day one or from the wherever time which is applicable for you, so that you will be able to match up your forecasted performance with the actual performance. So these are uses of time series. The first use being seeing the previous or the past behavior. I understand what is the product, what is the company, how they are able to manage things. Then using time series, I compare the data, which will help me understand where we doing very good or where we bad and now we are improving. Again, using time series, I will be able to predict the future based on the past performance. And using time series, I can control the current accomplishments. That is, my current work I can control if I have the actual performance and forecasted performance of the previous year. So using the previous data, we will do all of it. Understood? Any doubts in this slide? Everybody understood? Okay. Now coming to the components of time series. Now components of time series, there are 4 components. Now before that, let us understand what is that. The value of variables at different time periods in a time series are greatly influenced by the combination of independent forces. Okay, so these things are independent forces. They don't depend on anything. Okay, so the value of variables at different time periods. and different time periods will be influenced by the independent factors. The various factors that will influence are known as components. So these four factors are the independent factors in the time series, and this will affect the time series, and that is why they are known as components of the time series. Now here the first one is trend, that is secular trend. The first, it is called as trend. Now it is denoted by T. Okay, the full explanation of all the four we will be doing it in the next class. Today we will just see what are the components. Then we have seasonal variations, which is denoted as S. Then we have cyclical variations, which is denoted as C, and there is irregular variations, which is denoted as I. So trend, seasonal variations, cyclical variations, and irregular variations. Okay, next, it is assumed that the relationship between these four components is multiplicative in nature, which means the variable, the dependent variable y is nothing but the independent factors, that is trend, seasonal variation, cyclical variation, and irregular variation. Okay, so these are the relationship where you multiply all of them. These are the major relationship that they have. These are independent factors, and y is a dependent factor. Y is dependent on these factors which we see here. Clear? Understood?